Welcome back to Open Line. Happy Tuesday to you, by the way. We're talking about the Martha O'Brien Center with Marcia Edwards. I haven't mixed up those two just yet. I was afraid I would.
Good. You're good.
The hour's not over yet, though, Marcia. You know, the Martha O'Brien Center, if you haven't heard about it, doing some of the best work in this city in some of the toughest neighborhoods and really looking at children as the top priority to bring them along and break that generational poverty.
Right.
I know that's at the heart of this. And I just want to jump to some of the calls real quick. We have Jerry on the line. Jerry, I hear you have a success story to share with us.
Well, first of all, good night. I want to wish each one of you ladies a good night, and God bless you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On this program. And when I talk about success, I'm a product of the Edge Hill community in South Nashville.
Sure.
And really, on one side, I was blessed. Actually, my father, he worked at the pond out here in Old Hickory. And I was fortunate enough that we lived in a home, right outside the community. But the people the kids that I went to school with, played sports with, and fought with, and dealt with the trials and tribulations of day-to-day things that go on in the community, I was very much a part of that, and they were like family to me. These are the people that I deal with daily, and I really felt like that, I was one of the crew, and it's not a very easy place to grow up, that community, and some of us were very fortunate, that we were involved in sports like myself, and it was one guy that I know for sure that has done a lot for that community, and he grew up on the street I did. His name is James Thrillkill, and he's a great artist, and he graduated from Vanderbilt University, and he played football there for 4 years, and I think he's taught at NBA. He's well known here in the Nashville community.
Sure.
And my thing is to try to help people feel like that. Don't feel like that you can't do it, because you can, and it don't come overnight.
Right.
The thing is, you need to stay away from the people that are going in the wrong direction. And that's a little hard to do, because in those communities, there's so much wrong that's going on, and the attitudes are being influenced on the younger people. So it's not a very easy, but if you're talented, whatever God blessed you to do, if it's athletics, arts and crafts, or if you got a mind to be educated to teach, or you just never know until you make that step to push yourself and not allow anyone or anybody to misdirect you.
Jerry, I thank you for calling in tonight. It's great to hear from you. And I do want to talk about some of those programs that you are empowering these children with to have that kind of mindset. One of those, a college program. Innovative.
Right. Well, our academic student unions are at both Stratford and Maplewood, and what Jerry's talking about is really finding those places in your life where there's people that believe what you do, not just about what the opportunities is, but who you are, who see who you are. And so we have really great staff, and we have a really great collaborative relationship with the faculty at Stratford and Maplewood. But what we know is that kids who are coming out of low-income homes, and particularly public housing, these kids don't matriculate beyond high school. If they graduate from high school, they're very, very low percentage numbers for graduation. So we try to really do very serious discernment during that junior and senior year. We try to match people with mentors, and then we try to make sure we have the right school for the right young person. So one of the things about the academic student unions is that is an affinity group in itself. Now, it's a big one, because at Stratford, I think we serve 420 kids of the 700 that are there.
Wow.
So it's a lot of kids. But all the kids that come up to the top floor at Stratford, they They want to know how to get a job. They want to think about college and what that would mean, or trade school, or the military, or whatever their first step is. They want to improve in a school. Sometimes we get kids that just say, I'm doing fine, but I'm really stuck on Algebra 2. Stuck usually means failing.
Right.
So I think that what happens is, though, if you have not come from a family that has a history of going on after high school, your
mindset's not there.
Yeah, I had the very first young woman we sent to college. She went to Berea College, and she said, it was not that my mom didn't want to teach me these things. My mom didn't know these things. And so you need a team of people that can really shepherd kids who are first generation, particularly, through college. I mean, anybody who's had a college, and I've got 4 kids, a college kid, you know, they call in home.
Sure.
Like, I don't know, I was an A student, now I got a C- on a paper.
How could this happen?
How could this happen?
Life is falling apart.
That's right. And then you as the parent say, well, remember when we went, they have a writing center, it's down there past your dorm. Go down there and show them your paper and find out what was wrong with it. Or in my family, they would say, can I just fax it to you, Mom? But if you don't have that, then you need another team of people to help you.
Yes.
And so what we have created is a post-secondary success team. And so that's the team that picks up after graduation. And we serve some adults through that. Some of our GED students are coming through that program also. But it really is about helping young people get to that next graduation day, whether that's a 2-year degree, whether that's a certificate, whether that's a 4-year degree.
And what kind of success are you seeing?
Well, we have just started this in the last 3 years, but we're just starting to have graduates. So what we're seeing is probably double the matriculation rate in Tennessee. Wow. So I think that's very early. Those numbers are very small right now, but they will expand. We have 200 kids that we are shepherding this next year. But I do believe that what we know is that kids just come across obstacles that in a middle-class home would be just, you'd pop over them. But in a low-income home, sometimes it's, well, I guess you better come home because this happened, or you flunked this, or, you know, we need help at home, or there's tons of reasons why people leave school. But a lot of times the reason people leave school is because they're working too much. They're working enough to make enough to live. So it's a very challenging environment. So we are in the middle of that, you know. So kids who stay with us through college, I mean, we are up in your business, and
but in the best possible way.
They want
for
that.
the right reason.
I mean, the truth is, they want that. And sometimes we've had kids that maybe we didn't hardly see in high school. Yeah. We saw them a few times on the top floor, but they didn't come very often. But now they're struggling, and so they'll come back and say, you know, I need help. And so,
what a big step for them to take, to raise their hand and say, okay, I want to do this, but I don't know how to do it on my own.
Yeah, or we've had kids too that, you know, I talked to a young man the other day who said, well, Marcia, I screwed up, I flunked everything, now they won't let me back in school. And I just saw him on the street and I said, you need to go talk to our post-secondary team. Go see Pippin, go see Miss Robin, and see what can be done there, because they can advocate for you. So I think that, you know, we all need a little help.
Sure.
And so this is a very deep commitment of ours, but it's also a commitment of many Nashvillians. We have a lot of volunteers in our academic student unions, and we have a lot of volunteers in our post-secondary team.
If this is striking a chord with somebody, can they just call Martha O'Brien Center and say, I want to help.
Right.
Here are my talents. Right. Where would you place me?
Right. And so, for example, if maybe you went to Western Kentucky University, we have kids going there. So that might be a place where you would be possibly a fantastic mentor, because you know the campus. You might go up for a football game, right? But you would have that opportunity to get to know that young person and then kind of help them at your alma mater. So
let's talk to Lori real quick. Let me see what line Lori's on 2 here. Lori, thank you for being part of the show tonight.
Yes, my name's Miss Hinkle Reedy, and Miss Marsha, she is what she says she is, ma'am. I used to live in East Nashville. Miss Marsha, she doesn't just sit in her office. She's not that type. She doesn't just sit in the board meetings or the charitable meetings, the people that chair meetings or the people that even donate money. She actually it'll get out in the community and talk to the young adults face to face. And ma'am, not just the young adults. She even encourages, I'm 50 plus, okay? At any given moment, I can see her in the hallway, and she encourages me. Do you need to take any of the classes we got? Look up there on the board, Lori. There's classes for everyone. Not just, but I like the fact that she targets the ones that really need. She really helped my daughter from age 17 to my daughter is 25 now, and my daughter is still involved with the Martha O'Brien Center. She helps you to get in AmeriCorps. Not just, she stays with you. I mean, and anytime she in the community, she actually gets out in the public housing, in the project. She will step off of Martha O'Brien's property and come out and talk to the young boys and girls in the community, getting off the school bus. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a lot of people don't really know about Miss Marsha. She's not just your sit behind the desk type of CEO. She's the kind that actually, God's got her in the right place because she's got that kind of heart. But I just had to add that in there, that she still, to this day, gets out and talks to the young adults in the community, and us older ones, too. I'm 50 plus, and she still encourages me to want to do more. You know, well, Lori, we have a computer class. You might can get in that and learn a few more things. You know, I just love Miss Marsha. And it's not just her staff now, ma'am. The community loves Miss Marsha.
Lori, I'm so glad you called in. That is a 4-star endorsement, I think, right there. And I hope you take that as a pat on the back.
Well, that's very, very sweet and generous of her. Yes, she is that person.
Why do you do this?
It's been the greatest blessing in my life, and we have an incredible staff at Martha O'Brien. So you know, I always say I've had a lot of good jobs, but this is the best, and it is because of who we serve. It's because of where we are, and it's because of the staff around Martha O'Brien. Before I interviewed at Martha O'Brien years ago, I met someone who had visited there, had come for a tour, and they said there's something special about that place. And I think that when I came, I really recognized that. And I must admit, though, I came there saying I was going to stay for 3 years and move on to something better. There is nothing better. I mean, it's an incredible place. And I think one of the great things about it is that you get to see what is never talked about in the public view, which is people really transforming their lives. We are standing alongside sometimes. We are maybe helping, guiding, assisting, but this is what people are doing. People are just finding who they really were meant to be. Sometimes they've forgotten that, sometimes they're discovering that. But to see people blossom, that's a joy
cool,
every day. Yeah, that's a joy every day.
Very neat. Okay, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. More after the break.